Should you eat meat? Let's talk about the pros and cons so that you are well informed and you can make a decision. This is Robin from Necessary Nutrition, and I help women over 40 use food, targeted nutrition, and simple strategies so that we thrive in this season of our lives. Okay, so should you eat meat? Let me say this. You definitely need adequate protein intake. Protein is super important for us in this age if you're over 40. And generally speaking, 30 grams of protein per meal is what we want to shoot for, generally speaking. Animal protein has the tendency to then have the most amount of protein versus plant-based. But some of you are plant-based eaters, some of you are not. What's the truth? Should you eat meat? Let's really talk about it. Let's talk about the pros of animal protein. One of them, as I said, it's generally higher in protein and it has all of the amino acids that our bodies need in order to function, as well as B12 and zinc. It is nutrient heavy or nutrient dense for us. It also really supports our muscles, so building of our muscles, our bone, and the balancing of our blood sugar. Those are the pros. Now, the cons on the flip side of animal protein is that if you're eating red meat, processed red meat, that is like the deli meats and the bacon, those are known as carcinogens. And carcinogens are cancer producing, so not good for the body. A lot of red meat and processed meats fall into that category. Also falls into the category of creating inflammation in the body and heart issues, none of which we want, usually through the red meat. Also, depending on how the meat is produced, they are given hormones and antibiotics. So there's pros to it, and then there's these cons to it. And then what's the best solution? It's almost like, okay, well, I'm eating meat so I can have more protein, but it's giving me cancer. So what should I do? So I'm going to tell you what to do. Let's also talk about on the flip side, the pros and cons of the plants. So the pros, it's better for the environment. It is really good for fiber and it supports gut health when you're eating plant-based. And then obviously, if on an ethical side, you're not eating any one that had a face or a mother, right? So you didn't have to kill a living organism to enjoy the meat. And the cons of the plant-based meat or protein is it usually doesn't have all of the amino acids by itself, but it can be combined with other nutrients to give us that. And it's usually an incomplete protein. Nonetheless, what should you do? Let me talk about the best forms of animal protein, given that it's very good for our muscles and our bones and our blood sugar. What my recommendation is overall. I recommend having the best quality if you're going to eat animal protein, if your money allows, to have organic, high quality, non-commercial processed animal protein, or going between having a mix of plant-based protein and animal protein. Because again, the animal protein is super beneficial, but it's how it's given to us. The problem isn't the animal protein. The problem is how it is produced, how it is given hormones and antibiotics to mass produce. So my recommendation is to eat more fish. So sardines, salmon, mackerel, trout. Go with skinless poultry, as if you can go with the organic versions, then do that. Go with eggs, unsweetened Greek yogurt, cottage cheese if you're not lactose intolerant, And also with cottage cheese, you just want to watch the sodium. And then protein powders are a good mix. In using plant-based protein powders, which I'm very much a fan of, they usually have the complete amino acid profile. To summarize, should you eat meat, you have to look at your values and ethics. Should you eat animal protein? My recommendation is to marry the two, eat plant-based proteins and animal-based proteins. If you are not vegan or vegetarian already, stay easy on the processed and red meats. Go with fish, go with poultry, turkey, and chicken without the skin. And when you can, go with organic, hormone-free animal protein. That's not always easy to get. One that I recommend for you is to use a plant-based protein shake. Vary it what you're doing with your meat. Hope that cleared up pros and cons for both, but you got to do ultimately what works best for your body. Truly is. Animal protein makes me feel better. So I incorporate it into my diet, but do more fish. I do not eat red meat. I do not eat pork. Try to do the best that I can, like all of us in this world of crazy and chaos. So should you eat meat? High quality. That's the summary. High quality, the highest quality that you can, staying shy of red meat and mixing in plant-based protein as well. That would be my answer on that. Also, if you would like to join me for the 7-day nutrition reset, that's a freebie. It's available for you. I'll make sure the information is down below. Go ahead and grab that. And I look forward to seeing you in there. I'll coach you through that for 7 days. All right, like, subscribe, share, do all of the things that you're supposed to do. We're here in these YouTube streets. This is Robin, Nutritionist from Necessary Nutrition. Till we meet again.